Okay, so we have a big breaking news coming out. Please share this video. Today is January 29, 2025, and welcome to the Real GS News channel. Guys, before I start, give this video a big thumbs up, and once again, thank you so much for your support. It says here, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, unaffected by the federal funding freeze. Now, this is coming out from US President Donald Trump. I want to play this video really quick, and again, do me that favor, hit that thumbs up. Again, thank you so much for your support.
And I'm restating right now to correct any confusion that the media has purposely and somehow, for whatever reason, created. Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid have not been affected by any action we're taking in any way, shape, or form. We are merely looking at parts of the big bureaucracy where there has been tremendous waste and fraud and abuse. In that process, we identified and stopped $50 million being sent to Gaza to buy condoms for Hamas. 50 million. And you know what's happened to them? They've used them as a method of making bombs. How about that?
Wow.
We stopped an attempt to make an illicit payment for illegal alien resettlement. We canceled $181 million in DEI training contracts. This is just for the training of people in DEI, which has been terminated and completely terminated. And we paused $1.7 billion in unauthorized payments to foreign organizations, including stopping more than $40 million that was on its way out the door to the very corrupt World Health Organization, which has not done its job and not done it properly. We also blocked $45 million for diversity scholarships in Burma. 45, that's a lot of money for diversity scholarships in Burma. You can imagine where that money went. These were the types of payments, and many others. I could stand here all day and tell you things that we found.
Wow.
And we have to find them quickly because we want the money to flow to proper places. But these were the payments and types of payments affected by the temporary freeze, and the American people strongly support these efforts. I talked about it during the campaign, and they voted for us in record numbers. Every single day, we're now putting America first and fighting to get the most out of every single tax dollar for our great citizens.
Okay, that's the end for that video. Wow, all that money that was being sent to different parts of the world, he put a stop to that. I mean, he also mentioned that there's a lot more that he can name, but it's just a long list. A long list of all this money going to other places. It should have gone to North Carolina. It should have gone to California. It should have gone to Florida, Ohio, Hawaii. You guys already know throughout 4 years there's been hurricanes, there's been wildfire. Ohio, train derailments. You know how many people lost their homes in that? So again, a lot of these money should have gone to us because it belongs to us. But man, money was just being sent to others. I mean, wow. All right, so we're gonna see what's going on here, guys. There's been a lot of reports coming out yesterday that people weren't getting their stuff, Social Security, whatever. But Donald is saying you're gonna get it. Don't be listening to those phony news that keep telling you that you're not going to get it. So it says here, I'm restating right now to correct any confusion that the media has purposely and somehow, for whatever reason, created. Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid have not been affected by any action we are taking in any way, shape, or form. We are merely looking at parts of the big bureaucracy where there has been tremendous waste and fraud and abuse. All right, so that's coming out from the Donald. I want to read this one here. This is coming out from Political. This link, this here will be in the description box. It says here, Donald administration on Wednesday recited its sweeping freeze of federal assistance, which rolled Washington and caused widespread confusion about which programs were affected by the move, according to a copy of the memo obtained by Politico. A federal judge has already put a temporary block on Donald administration action Tuesday afternoon amid the turbulence. Now, the federal judge is a Biden judge. All right, so the funding freeze instituted on Monday sparked chaos across the country. Man, as state agencies and organizations that depend on federal money scrambled to understand the impact to billions in federal assistance to a suite of programs, including those that provide school meals and support homeless veterans. It says here the memo recession does not undo last week's hold on other parts of money, including climate and infrastructure funding. It also does not keep the administration from issuing new memos from the White House Budget Office on another spending freeze, with administration officials arguing that such an action falls within the power of the executive branch. The Wednesday memo, which was only 2 sentences, offered no specifics about why the Office of Management and Budget so quickly decided to rescind its original directive, saying only that any question about implementing the president executive orders should be directed to each agency general counsel. White House Press Secretary Carolyn said in a statement that the budget office pulled the memo to end any confusion on federal policy created by the court ruling and that the dishonest media coverage. But she said that the president more narrowly tailored executive orders remain in full force and effect and will be rigorously implemented by all agencies and departments. So it seems like the news kind of twisted the story here. I mean, that's what it seems like. And again, guys, another way to make the Donald look bad. I mean, why would they say something like that? I mean, the news, out of all the people around the world, their job is to dig deeper and to, study these before you start going on air and feeding the public all this baloney. But yeah, they kind of messed up on this one here. So this action should effectively end the court case and allow the Gov to focus on enforcing the president's order on controlling the federal spending. In the coming weeks and months, more executive action will continue to end the egregious waste of federal funding. So Senate Appropriation Chair Susan, Republican from Maine, lauded the move. While it is not unusual for incoming administrations to review federal programs and policies, this memo was overreaching and created unnecessary confusion and consternation, Collins said in a statement. Now, you have the left, some of whom suggested Donald's move had triggered a constitutional crisis earlier in the week, were less conciliatory. Despite all the rhetoric about how this time was going to be smoother and people were going to know what they're doing, when you have Donald and Stephen in the White House, chaos is going to happen, says Senator Martin, a Democrat. A Democrat. All right, you guys need to understand this is all political stuff. You got the left, they're going to say bad things about Donald. The right's going to say bad things about the left. So, again, you have two political, going on here. So when you create awe, you often create confusion. People are stunned by how fast things are happening and the magnitude of change, he said. For people living closer to the edge, having a hard time making their rent, confusion is not their friend. Who knows what he'll try next? They're acting like the Donna's this monster. Man. I'm coming for everything. I'm coming for your house, your cars, and all that. Come on. So it says here still the memo hasn't generated much relief for projects that appeared to be subject to the president's previous executive orders. Now, Carbon Capture Coalition, a trade association promoting technologies meant to strip carbon dioxide from the air, and it was trying to get word on the fate of up to $600 million in grants the Energy Department had offered for carbon capture projects under Joe climate and infrastructure laws. So we are still very much in wait and see mode and are awaiting further guidance from the administration and DOE on the earlier executive order that paused the implementation of both the Inflation Reduction Act and bipartisan infrastructure law, said Jesse, the coalition executive director, said in an email. After news broke that the OMB had recited Monday's memo. Truly apologize, guys. There's something here. That's the sun, and it's hitting right in my face. And the curtain is open just a little bit, and that sun is just hitting right in my eye. Yeah, give me a second here, guys. I'm going to have to remove myself really quick. Man, my eyes is hurting now. So in an attempt to diffuse some of the confusion and political backlash that followed the initial memo release, the White House Budget Office released a follow-up memo on Tuesday clarifying that benefits to individuals, including the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, formerly known as food stamps and student loans, would not be affected by the freeze. Boom. All right, that says it all. It also underscored that the agencies were only required to pause funding for activity that violate one of the several of the president's new executive order, including those relating to curtailing foreign aid, ending diversity, equity, and inclusion efforts, and halting environmental spending approved by Congress during Biden administration. And while the second memo said that Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security payments will be unaffected, Medicaid system on Tuesday experienced a payment outage that contributed to the confusion. Here's the thing, too, is that a lot of it could be cyber, because cyber does go after some of these programs, too. And we've seen a lot of these cyber going on throughout Joe administration. White House officials did not clarify what would happen to social safety net programs that indirectly benefit people or are paid through the states, including many that provide housing assistance and drug treatment. Wow, the sun is really hitting my eye. So Donald nominee for OMB Director Russell, who has not yet been confirmed by the Senate, has long argued that the executive branch has the authority to ensure that spending aligns with the president's priority regardless of any decision made by Congress. The funding freeze appear geared towards tearing up a legal fight over separation of powers and vaults arguments that a federal law prohibiting the executive branch from withholding funds appropriated by Congress is unconstitutional. We almost done with this one here. So Livette, during her first press briefing on Tuesday, defended the sweeping funding freeze, and the budget office Tuesday follow-up memo similarly defended the move against accusation that they violate federal law. Now, the reason for this is to ensure that every penny going out the door is not conflicting with the executive orders and action that this president has taken. This is very responsible measure. Once again, the White House itself seemed to be caught off guard by the Monday memo and did not immediately have answer early in the day on Tuesday about which programs would be affected. The budget office early Tuesday circulated a 52-page document listing thousands of programs potentially impacted by the freeze, with instruction to agency to answer more than it does in question by the end of the week. And that's where we at right now, guys. That is where we at right now. Alright, so there's been a misconfusion going on here.
And restating.
And I just want to bring this up really quick before I end the video. Donald said that we stopped the $50 million in funding for... I'm going to skip those names, but you guys see it. Unbelievable. Joe, what in the world was going through your mind when you was signing this and giving $50 million to, you know what, for condoms? I'm so glad that he's out of there. Man, he's out. All right, he's out. We got to Donald. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end this video. Again, Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, SNAP, food stamp. It's not going to be impacted. It's not going to be affected. You're going to get your stuff. And, again, just, you know, sometimes these news, again, they could say certain things to make Donald look really bad. Thank you so much for watching. Again, for those of you that want to give a life to Christ, you can email me. My email is in the description box. Me and my wife are here to help many and to lead many to the righteous path. And that's the path of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. For those of you that want to send us letters or prayer requests, you can send it to me, US Santiago, or my wife, Jessica Santiago, at 3432 US Highway 19, number 2, Holiday, Florida, 34691. Thank you so much for watching. God bless you all. Put faith and trust in Jesus Christ, for he's the only way, the truth, and the life. No one gets to the Father except through Jesus. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time later. Peace.